And here's the best part. All of these videos were done by companies who donated their time and their expertise to put them together. We are so grateful. Now, next year, let's do this again, but let's do it in person. We want
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the 2021 Women Up and Celebrate Women of Achievement and Courage Awards pre-show. My name is Hannah Hebner, and I am the Development Manager here at Michigan Women Forward, and I'm joined by my lovely colleagues, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Kenneth, and I am the Portfolio Manager here at Michigan Women Forward, and I'm one of the people representing the Y chromosome at MWF.
My name is Ben Jarek. I'm a loan officer here at Michigan Women Forward, and it's a pleasure to be here.
And I'm Ellie Drain, Director of Events at MWF.
And as Kenneth mentioned, Kenneth and Ben are the two men who work with us at Michigan Women Forward, and not everybody knows that they work with us. So thank you guys for playing our game today. And for everybody who's just tuning in, we are playing MWF Trivia today for the next few minutes while we wait for the main event to start. So for those of you out in virtual land, there's a chat function to the right on your screen. Let us know you're here and let us know where you're watching from.
You'll get to hear all about the statewide impact MWF is having a little later during the program, but we want to get everyone warmed up right now. So Hannah, I understand that you have a few trivia questions for us.
Yes, I do. In fact, we want those who are tuned in that are watching right now to try to answer these as well. Feel free to type in your best guess in the chat on the right of your screen. So Ellie, Ben, Kenneth, they do not know the answers to these questions. They're going to be playing along with you in the audience. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
I am.
Awesome.
You guys
Okay, so we're going to start with an easy one to practice. So the first question is, how many Women Up and Celebrate events does Michigan Women Forward host throughout the year? So everyone who's watching is watching one of the events, but how many do we have throughout the year? Put your answer in the chat if you know the answer. All right, Ellie, Kenneth, and Ben, do you have your answers?
I'm going to say 3.
I'm going to go with 3.
I'm going to go with 2.
I think it's probably wise to go with Ellie since she's the director of those events. And the answer is 3. So 3 Women Up and Celebrate events throughout the year. West Michigan, which happened last week. Southeast Michigan, which is the event that you're watching today. And Kalamazoo, which is going to be happening soon in September. Okay, are we ready for the real questions now?
Sure.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. And for everybody who's just tuning in now, this is Michigan Women Forward, Women Up and Celebrate pre-show, and we are playing MWF Trivia. So feel free to play along in the chat with us. Okay, first question. MWF was founded when 30 women gathered together to discuss philanthropy and the imbalance in donations to women's programs. That year, only 3% of philanthropic dollars went to programs for women and girls in the United States. What year was MWF founded? Is it A, 1983, B, 1986, C, 1991, or D, 1994? Does anybody have a guess?
B.
And put your guesses on the chat if you have a guess out there.
Say 86.
86? Okay, so
I'm also going with 86.
Ben?
And not B.
86? Okay,
86.
you're all correct. Awesome. So in 1986, Mary Jo Pulte gathered a group of 30 women and started Michigan Women's Foundation at the time, which later became Michigan Women Forward. That means we are officially 35 years old. It's very exciting. All right. So for those of you who are just tuning in, we are at the Women Up and Celebrate pre-show and we're playing some MWF trivia. Play along with us in the chats. Okay, we're on question number 2. The Michigan Women's Hall of Fame, which is an integral part of our Her Story pillar, celebrating women's history at MWF, has 335 women in it. Which of the following women is not currently in the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame? Which one is not in the Hall of Fame? Is it A, Serena Williams, B, Sojourner Truth, C, Madonna, or D, Betty Ford? And let's not start with Ellie this time. Let's make someone else start. So Kenneth or Ben.
I would say Serena. Madonna is from Michigan, so I'm sure she probably, sounds like Serena Williams.
Do you think A, Serena Williams? Okay. What do you think, Ben?
I'm also going to go with Kenneth on this one. A, Serena Williams.
Okay. Ellie,
I'm going to go with C, Madonna. I don't recall her being in there. And Serena Williams was actually born in Saginaw.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. You ready for the answer? So the answer is C, C, Madonna. So Serena Williams, Sojourner Truth, and Betty Ford have all been inducted into the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame, where their stories will continue to influence women and girls. Madonna is not in the Hall of Fame yet, but she is from Michigan. So you are right that she's from Michigan.
Wow.
Maybe she'll be in the Hall of Fame one day, though.
Maybe someday.
All right. So our third and final question. So this one should be interesting because it has to do with our Women's Entrepreneurial Initiative, which Kenneth and Ben work with every day. So you guys should be able to get.
You guys have the advantage here, so you better get this right.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Nothing like pressure.
Okay, so in 2020, Michigan Women Forward invested $1.4 million in entrepreneurs. How many jobs were retained through 2020 as a result of MWF's investments? Is it A, 250, B, 312, C, 417, or D, 492? And let's have Ben start this time. Ben, what do you think? I know you're newer to the team.
Yeah, and I really was just going to copy off of somebody else's answer. So I'm going to go with C.
C, 417?
Yep.
Okay. What do you guys think, Allie and Kenneth?
I honestly don't know. I'm going to go with D, 492.
Okay.
I'll go with 312.
B, 312?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Ellie was right again.
Oh, man.
Seriously.
Oh, wow.
492, which is really impressive, right? So although
That is actually, yeah.
was
Just
really
for
challenging
2020.
for small businesses, we were able to retain 492 jobs.
Wow.
Oh,
Great.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So do we have a winner? I think we know who our winner is.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Don't rub it in.
I looked down at number 2. I just recently read that Serena Williams was born in Saginaw. So I
never
promise
guessed
that was not like common knowledge prior to maybe 2 weeks ago.
I always thought they were from Cali for some reason.
I think that's where they grew up, but I think technically she was born here.
Oh, wow.
So that's why she's in the Hall of Fame here.
Hmm.
So there you go. You learn something new every day, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. Hey, well, that was so much fun. Thank you to co-hosts Kenneth, Ben, and Hannah. Thank you to all of you out there for playing with us, and we hope you enjoy the event.
Thank you.
Can you feel that? Something's changing. A shift from a focus on me to something bigger. Because while it's perfectly fair to ask, what's in it for me? Finding the answer comes from asking, what's in it for we? At TCF Bank, our purpose lies in answering that question, in giving every me the financial strength to make us all a stronger we.
Hello, and welcome to Women Up and Celebrate Women of Achievement and Courage Awards. My name is Stephanie Naito, and I'm the Vice President of Talent Management at Meyer and the Chair of Michigan Women Forward's Board of Trustees. I'm excited to welcome you to our virtual event today and to thank you for taking time to join us. Please say hello in the chat box to one another and to us so we know you're here. I have to say, the best part of hosting a virtual event like this one is that 97% of the proceeds from today's ticket sales, sponsorships, and any additional donations that you make today will directly help Michigan women and girls. This also means the support of today's top sponsors, General Motors, Consumers Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Meyer, and TCF Bank is especially powerful this year. On behalf of myself and Meyer, we are proud to stand with Michigan Women Forward in their work to promote gender and racial equity through economic empowerment of women entrepreneurs. Today, we are broadcasting live from the Congregation, a coffee shop and cafe in the Boston Edison neighborhood of Detroit. This coffee shop is especially special because it's owned by Betsy Murdoch, one of Michigan Women Forward's entrepreneurial clients. Betsy used MWF funding and training resources to open the congregation a little over a year ago and has grown into a beloved community destination. I'd like to introduce you to Betsy, who is going to tell us how she dreamed up this idea for the congregation and how Michigan Women Forward helped her dream to become a reality. So now let's meet Betsy.
The congregation started as just an idea, a place we dreamt up that could be a real social hub in the community. In chatting with friends, neighbors, and family, it was obvious our community was longing for access to a local cafe, as well as a gathering place to meet friends and neighbors. Our dream then became to acquire the former church at the corner of Rosa Parks Boulevard and Atkinson Avenue, and transform it into a coffee shop, cafe, and community space. Now, where do I begin? I asked myself. I put my pen to paper and then was fortunate to be introduced to some resources, including the Build program and Tech Town's Retail Boot Camp. Through these programs is where I was introduced to Michigan Women Forward. I knew this was the organization that could help me bring my vision to life, and as a female entrepreneur, it really hit home with me that this organization was encouraging women in business. Michigan Women Forward was invaluable in terms of providing guidance and strategy for us to obtain funding. They were with me every step of the way as I refined our business plan to make it just right. We opened our doors in March of 2020, just 11 days before restaurants were forced to cease indoor dining as a result of the pandemic. It was not going to deter us. For 3 months, I ran the cafe by myself, and in late June, when I was able to bring my team back, we reopened and had an incredible summer season. We far surpassed any goals we may have had with only 50% capacity. We had to get creative. From music performances to fitness events, we put everything we had into promoting our venue. If anything, the pandemic encouraged us to keep pushing and realize that community is now more important than ever. And that is who we've created this space for, our community. Our community is the reason we are here and the reason we keep going. They've continued to support us through the first year in business while navigating a pandemic. We have so many regulars, and it warms my heart every day when people tell me how much this place means to them. Thank you, Michigan Women Forward. The impact you've had on my life and business is echoing throughout the Boston Edison and Atkinson communities.
Hello from Detroit. I'm Carolyn Casson, Michigan Women Forward's president and CEO, and I am so excited to be standing behind the bar here at the congregation. Those of you who know me well know that waitressing is my backup career, just in case all of this doesn't work out. So I'll be taking your coffee orders throughout the event. But right now, I've been given a short break to tell you about what we've been up to this year at Michigan Women Forward. Detroit business owners like Betsy inspire all of us because they have persevered through one of the most challenging years to open or own a business. This past year, MWF has directed our work to helping entrepreneurs like Betsy, who have been most severely impacted by the pandemic. We all know that women-owned businesses, especially those owned by women of color, have been shuttered at a higher rate than businesses owned by men. Women have lost jobs at a higher rate than men. And women have been stretched thin, taking on additional roles such as caregivers and teachers. Because of the support of people like you and the generosity of companies like those scrolling on your screen, MWF has worked harder and accomplished more this past year than in any year in our 35-year history. Let me give you a short recap of how we spent 2020. The minute the stay-at-home order was issued back in Michigan back in March, MWF went to work, reaching out to entrepreneurs to listen to them and to learn what they needed most to survive. Based on their recommendations last June, we launched a $1.5 million fund, the Michigan Entrepreneur Resilience Fund, with the help of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and many other corporate and foundation sponsors. That money helped rescue 200 businesses owned by women and people of color that had had to close earlier in the year. We paid their loan payments for the first 6 months, and we gave others grants just to survive. We hosted trainings and webinars on how to make cash flow projections so that entrepreneurs could understand their current financial position and make plans for how to stay in business during the second and even the third wave of the virus. MWF tripled the size of our Women's Entrepreneurial Initiative team, increasing the number of microloans we could provide across the state. We even held our girls' summer camps, a Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and 3 statewide pitch competitions. All of them were virtual, and they were a great success. Through the magic of Zoom, thousands of people were able to participate from their own homes. Last August, we even celebrated 100 years since women won the right to vote, and we encouraged women to use their vote during last year's election. Finally, we're proud to say that not only did the women we support survive this difficult year, but so did MWF as an organization. We made nearly 80 new microloans over the last 12 months, and we granted 157 additional companies funding just to keep them afloat. So I think of the last year as really reaching out and throwing lifelines to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women throughout our state. Thank you for giving us those ropes and those life preservers. You were there when MWF and women needed you most. It means a great deal to me personally, and it means even more to the women and girls that your dollars support. I know it won't be a surprise to any of you that our work here is not done. We're not through this pandemic yet, and there will be years and years of recovery work still to do. Experts are projecting that this pandemic is going to set progress back for women 10 years. MWF is not going to let that happen. We will do as our name demands. Together, we will move Michigan women forward. We simply cannot do this, though, without you. So stay tuned until later in the program, where you're going to have an opportunity to do your part. Now, I know you didn't come here to hear me talk or even to have me deliver coffee to you. You tuned in today to celebrate the achievements and the courage of 3 remarkable women: Dr. Betty Chu, Joanne Chavez, and Byna Elliott. These 3 women are about to receive the Women of Achievement and Courage Award. They will join a group of 159 other accomplished women across the state who have received this award over the past 30 years. So let's kick off today's awards by introducing our first 2021 Woman of Achievement and Courage honoree, Dr. Betty Chu. Dr. Chu has been a champion for women's health equity throughout her career. And this past year, she has been a leader in the fight against COVID-19 and the distribution of the vaccine at Henry Ford Health System and throughout the state. Let's meet Betty.
I've known Betty Chu since I was 18 years old. We met as college students at the Inaflex program at the University of Michigan, and both of us decided to pursue obstetrics and gynecology as our field of practice, and graduated and went to different residencies.
Dr. Betty Chu is a past president of the Michigan State Medical Society, and she is also on the Michigan delegation to the American Medical Association, representing her colleagues in Michigan.
She has a determination about her, but you always feel that she's a very kind, caring individual. Her style is engaging, being very respectful, and really wanting to help the individual to achieve more than they ever imagined.
She's been very passionate about physician-led, team-based care so that every patient has the highest quality of care possible. And she's also been very passionate about getting physicians from all kinds of practice settings, all kinds of specialties, and all kinds of demographic groups involved in shaping health policy inside the medical society to make sure that we are as inclusive as possible and as focused in our work as we possibly can be.
Just practicing obstetrics and gynecology only helped a subset of people, where going further with their education and getting a master's degree in business helped her shape policy and help more patients at a time.
I know she views me as a mentor, but I view her as a mentor because you want to have someone who embodies continuous learning. And she does that, and she also reaches out to younger women.
I think she sets a great example of setting a high standard, working hard, doing her homework. But even beyond that, she has been always very vigilant about inviting other women into participation, into leadership.
She's mentoring others to make sure that they can achieve more than what they ever thought was possible. She has that ability to balance the strategic long-term outlook with the short-term day-to-day results of the organization.
Betty is a role model of what women leaders should be, and she exemplifies that in the best way possible. Betty is my hero and my inspiration.
Betty, congratulations. This is an outstanding and well-deserved award, and all of us are so proud of you.
Congratulations, Dr. Chu, on being a Michigan Women Forward Woman of Courage and Achievement Award winner. It's very well deserved, and we're very proud of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deborah Wall, Global Chief Marketing Officer at General Motors. And as a co-chair of today's event, I have the pleasure of presenting Dr. Betty Chu with the 2021 Woman of Achievement and Courage Award. Woo! Thank you. Thank you so much, Deborah, and thanks to Michigan Women Forward for this wonderful award. It's so great to see my friends and people over the years that have supported me everywhere from somebody who's known me since I'm 18 to somebody, as you know, Barbara Mahone, who's been such an icon really in the community and an amazing mentor to me personally. So I'm so thankful to Carolyn and Blanca and everybody who set up this event today. It's really humbling. And of course, I would want to thank my family. I know all of us couldn't have done it without our family. We're standing on the shoulders of a lot of women, but we're also standing on the shoulders of a lot of help at home to allow us to raise our kids and do the rest of the things that we need to do to make our life whole and full. So thank you so much for this award. Well, it is so well deserved. And on behalf of everyone who's watching, you're an amazing healthcare professional. And we just want to thank you for everything that you put in, your leadership at Henry Ford in the response to the COVID-19 crisis and the vaccination rollout. It's been truly amazing. And I know with all this hard year, we don't often stop and celebrate. So we do want to be able to celebrate you today. And this is really exciting and such an honor, and really glad to be here with you. So today we're presenting an award that not only honors your achievements, but also honors your courage.
And I think that's always really interesting because courage can come in so many forms. It can come in hard decisions that you have to make. It can come in the form of challenges you'd never thought you'd have to take on. So I want to ask you, how have you had to use courage in the last year?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And I think the focus on courage this year, especially in our industry, with this overcoming fear in adversity, I think that's true for probably everybody. We've certainly seen a ton of examples of that in healthcare. From the example of, an environmental service person who has to walk into a room after a COVID patient's been in there and clean the room. And of course, if you recall last year, we were all washing our groceries down. So the idea of the unknown last year and overcoming that fear and adversity of all these frontline workers that are interacting with patients on a daily basis, or the postal workers or the grocery workers. So I think there's been a lot of examples for that. I think personally, this year has been a lot about overcoming my fear of doing things that are new. This past year, like a lot of us, we've had to innovate in the health system, and being really the incident commander for the health system in the first surge last year was a new role for me, and to try to help the organization keep all of our people safe and to keep our patients safe during the crisis was something that took some personal courage and a lot of thoughtfulness on my part, and of course a lot of support from my family and my family members around me.
I can only imagine. So we want to take this moment to say, one, thank you for sharing all that with us, because to see underneath, that really makes a difference. And then again, just to thank you for all of your selfless work, everything that you've done, everything that you put in on behalf of the community and throughout your impressive career. So just want to, again, let's give another round of applause.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Accepting that beautiful award.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Deborah.
And now I'd like to introduce our next Woman of Achievement and Courage Award winner, I was all in the healthcare world there, Byna Elliott.
Byna and I worked together for over a decade at Fifth Third Bank. We work very closely together, not only to just drive change, but have real impact across all of the communities, which is just something Byna has consistently done her whole career.
I actually had the pleasure of meeting Byna while at Fifth Third Bank, and it was an assignment that I actually had originally said, no thanks. I think I mentioned something to the effect of, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. There was a long pause, and she looked at me and she said, we got this. I think it originated at a 28 billion with a B target goal that ended up being a 32 with a B $1 billion investment result, and we're still counting.
Byna and I met just over 20 years ago, believe it or not, as she joined Fifth Third Bank in our community development area, and I was running commercial real estate. She exhibits all of the leadership characteristics that you have to be successful in business today, but more importantly, just in life. Her integrity, her teamwork, collaborative, inclusiveness. I mean, she represents everything a good leader needs to be successful.
I was very lucky to have the opportunity to have Byna join me at JP Morgan Chase, and she is leading a critically important strategy for our firm, which is advancing Black pathways, a center of excellence in the Black community, both inside and outside the firm. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be able to work with Byna again.
Byna has a knack of doing the unthinkable beyond Detroit, beyond Cincinnati, beyond Tennessee. She's now doing this around the world.
She was just always on top of her game. She was always well-informed, knowledgeable what was going on in the community. She brought value to the table, and she was always prepared. So I tease her that she was my favorite, and she might chuckle a little bit and say she knew that.
I think we'll look out several years from now. We'll see that we are able to point to substantially better talent pipelines in the Black community within our firm. We can point to the community where we've leaned forward around a big racial equity commitment to drive change in home ownership, affordable housing, small business lending, access to credit and coaching, and opportunities to create prosperity in the Black community, in the very cities that we know have been left behind. Thank you for modeling the way. Congratulations on well-deserved recognition.
I want to say congratulations and well-deserved on winning the award of Michigan Women Forward, Women of Courage and Achievement. That sums up you, Byna Elliott. Congrats.
I am so very proud of you. You have earned this award. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexis Dishman, and I am the new Chief Lending Officer at Michigan Women Forward. I'm going to tell you about my new role in a few minutes, but right now, I am so incredibly honored to be sitting here with my friend, Byna Elliott, and awarding her with this year's 2021 Women of Achievement and Courage Award. Congratulations, Byna.
Thank you, Alexis.
Your colleagues featured you in your introduction video said it well. You are not only a thoughtful leader, building leadership pipelines for women inside the companies you lead, but you've also spent your career in banking focused on improving the economic plight of vulnerable individuals. I want to say thank you for your commitment to caring for communities in Michigan, and especially for your investment in and passion for the city of Detroit.
Thank you. I am absolutely overwhelmed, filled with gratitude, and extremely thankful. But if I'm honest, the award really doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my grandmother, Honora Coleman, who had an 8th grade education, picked cotton as a youth, raised 9 children as a single mom, and probably never made more than $20,000 a year. But she never impacted anybody more than she impacted the entire community. She was not just my grandmother, she was the grandmother of the community. And when I think about courage, that's the first person that I think about. And that's my example. It would be remiss of me not to thank my family. Louise Guyton, who's since retired, but took me under her wing, worked for a competitor bank, but wanted to make sure that I was successful. And that's about lifting as we climb. My incredible team members that I work with every day, they make me better because iron sharpens iron. And so they're brilliant, they're motivating, and they have a don't quit attitude that make a big difference for me. And finally, my sister tribe. It wouldn't be, we're at Michigan Women Forward because it's about women helping other women. And I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have that support system of other women lifting me up, giving me honest feedback, and encouraging me.
Thank you so much, Byna. I heard that the #1 attribute you look for when you are hiring a leader is courage, which is pretty telling. Courage is such an important quality for leadership. Both you and I, and I'm sure many of the women watching, have been in situations where we raised our hands for leadership positions even when we didn't feel 100% ready. I know we were just having that conversation earlier. I can say with certainty that making your own seat at the table takes a lot of courage. Can you tell us about a time when you had to be courageous when making a career choice?
As a mother, I make courageous decisions all the time about parenting. As a career professional, I make decisions about accepting promotions, aligning with a strategic strategy, or leaning in and being the voice in the room and having a different opinion, because that all takes courage and requires you to overcome your fears. And so one of the things that I can think about in terms of what was a pivotal moment for me was there was a C-suite job open at my company, and I got the call. And I knew I would get the call, and I turned it down. And I turned it down with a really good set of explanations that I created for myself around why it wasn't the right time for me. But I also had a sister tribe that we go on a retreat with every year. And so they pulled me into the room with an intervention. They talked about it and they said, why didn't you take the role? I said, it wasn't my time. I gave them my platitudes and they kept looking at me. And so we went deeper. And what I realized is that little girl who was inside of me said, you're not worthy. You're not ready. What if you fail? And so that's what held me back. So I got back that weekend, called up my boss and said, I'll take the job. And since then, my team went on to do incredible work in the banking industry. That $32 billion commitment ended up being $41 billion in a community that we helped families who didn't think they would achieve home ownership, small business owners achieve growth and be able to hire other people. And communities were transformed by those commitments. And so when you say yes to yourself, you unlock a lot of opportunity. And so for anybody sitting there thinking about what are those chances and what shots you didn't take, don't stress about it. But next time, do what I did. Do it afraid. Just do it afraid.
Absolutely. You know, when I think about the sister tribe and I think about the courage and what we all need to do to lean within ourselves and to lean forward, I am so ecstatic that you did that you made that move and you took your courage and you moved so far forward, because it has been instrumental in the impact that you've had on others' lives.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us today. And thank you for your tireless work to lead the Black Pathways Initiative at JP Morgan Chase. We believe in your drive and commitment for creating racial equity, and we at Michigan Forward stand with you.
Thank you.
I'd like to now introduce our next Women of Achievement. I'd like to now introduce our next Women of Achievement and Courage Award honoree, Joanne Chavez.
I met Joanne 3 to 4 years ago when the tax organization combined with the legal organization at DTE. I was part of the legal organization. She was the vice president of the tax organization. And the two combined, creating one very large organization.
I've known Joanne for about 5 or 6 years. We met at a DTE partnership meeting. Joanne embodies this wonderful combination of personal conviction, courage, fearlessness, passion, and commitment that is just so inspiring.
Joanne has become the first woman in the over 150-year history of DTE Energy to earn her way into the C-suite. She shattered glass ceilings everywhere. And what she does is make sure that she is pulling others up with her so that she has many successors coming behind her.
Her story is my story. Her story is the story of all those little girls from Southwest Detroit that aspire to do something greater with their lives, aspire to create greater opportunities for themselves and for their families. And the fact that she has achieved such success is inspiring for all women.
I think women and minorities can sometimes get invited to the game, but they don't get the opportunity to show what they've got. Joanne's that coach that says, I want to see what you can do in the field. And as that coach, Joanne doesn't just notice her own players on the bench, but she notices players of other coaches, and she finds ways to create opportunities for those players as well.
She knows the difference that her education has had on her life, and it was transformational. And she does not want another generation to lose out on the same opportunities afforded to her.
Joanne has taken her personal resources and made a substantial investment in Hispanic youth by starting the Hispanic Collaborative. And this is targeted at helping high school kids understand how you get into college and then how you can, in essence, do your best while you're at college. She has, in just a few short years, had tremendous success, over 90% kids getting into college and retention once they are there.
Joanne's deserving of this award because she walks the walk, and she walks it every day. In everything that she does, in her community, in her role at DTE, as an alumni of Notre Dame and Notre Dame Law School, she takes that with her and carries it into everywhere she goes.
Joanne, felicidades. Congratulations in your Michigan Women Forward Women of Courage and Achievement Award.
You are a woman of courage. You are a woman of achievement, and I totally love you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Joanne, on your Women of Courage and Achievement Award. Nobody more deserving, and I'm so proud of you.
Wow. Good afternoon. My name is Rania Cruz. I'm the founder and CEO for OpTech and one of the co-chairs for this wonderful event. I am so thrilled to introduce you to, Joanne Chavez. Like your colleagues had mentioned, there's no one more deserving of this award, this wonderful 2021 Women of Achievement and Courage Award. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rania. It's incredibly humbling, and I'm so thankful for this award. First, I'd like to thank Michigan Women's Forward and Carolyn Casson for honoring me in this regard. But I also have to thank the women the shoulders that I stand on. So I come from a long line of very strong Latina women, and I feel like I stand on their shoulders. I didn't create this fortitude. I think I inherited it. I also am very thankful to my tribe at DTE. So the women of DTE, as well as the women vice presidents of DTE, who have continued to support one another for the last 15 years. But I don't want to forget my male colleagues at DTE, because I have incredible ones there as well. And so I think because of all of these people together, I have been able to achieve incredible things. And lastly, my family. I have a remarkable husband who has really supported my career in every way, and incredible children as well. So thank you, everyone.
That's wonderful. So all of you have probably noticed that we are asking our honorees questions, not necessarily about their amazing accomplishments, but more about the courage that they have had to take to make very difficult decisions throughout their careers or personal lives. And could you provide us a story about a courageous decision that you had to make in life?
I will. Thank you, Rania. So often we all think about the decisions we've made in our careers. And I think every woman has had to make very difficult ones. Mine was perhaps this intersection between work and family. So in 2000, I was so blessed to become a partner in the international tax practice at KPMG, one of 35 women across the country. The same year, I built my first home. So how incredible. Later that year, I was given an incredible opportunity. My sister, who had fallen upon very difficult times, not just financially, but socially, emotionally, had 3 children, ages 4, 5, and 6. And she couldn't care for them, even though she probably didn't realize it. And there was a calling. I remember one phone call, and they said, do you think you could take care of the kids for a short period of time? We didn't have a plan. So I brought them into my home and immediately became their legal guardian. And these were high-risk kids. At ages 4, 5, and 6, they had lived a very challenging life. Their parents had become addicted to drugs and alcohol, and their father had spent a great deal of time in prison. So it was not an easy 3 children to take on, especially as a new partner and as a single woman who'd likely had only planned to ever be an aunt. I hadn't planned to have children, and I had never planned to be married. So I brought them into my home, and I was traveling around the globe. And I was an international tax partner, and it required me to do other things. I was blessed enough to have resources where I could support the children, both with therapy as well as daycare and in-home care. But I woke up one morning realizing that I wasn't a good partner, and I simply wasn't giving the children what they needed. So by the end of 2003, I made the decision, and this is the courage that I'm not sure all of us have had to face, but or the choice that we have to face, but I had to make a decision whether my family was going to take priority or my career. I didn't know what the future would hold. All I knew is that I had 3 kids that really needed my help and my time more than my position in my company. So I resigned. I resigned the partnership, and I took time off to really assess the needs of the kids, to chat with our team and to figure out what they needed, what more I could provide to ensure that they had the right foundation so that they could have a productive and healthy life. So I left. And at that point, you don't know what's going to happen. But fast forward, my kids are now 25, 26, and 27. And how blessed am I to not only have had an incredible career in public accounting, to be able to join DTE as the vice president of tax eventually, but then to move into an entirely new career and become the chief legal officer at DTE. And I share that because it's important that when we make those difficult decisions to step back or step over, they don't mean that you've derailed your life forever, right? I focused on the most important priorities and then everything else happened. So I don't know if it was courage or faith or the combination thereof, but I do know God was watching me and my guardian angel was definitely there, because how blessed am I to have had these careers and to have 3 remarkable children thriving in today's world.
What an amazing story, truly. I mean, we make difficult decisions each and every day, career and family, and that is such an amazing story that I think, not necessarily the same, that is very courageous of you, but similar challenges and decisions that we have to make. And thank you so much for sharing that amazing story and really showing your vulnerability. I think that we are all very touched with that story, and how amazing to have that kind of impact on 3 wonderful children. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your award. And now a word from one of MWF's loyal supporters, Tanya Rose with Fifth Third Bank.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanya Rose, and I'm the Community and Economic Development Manager for Fifth Third Bank in Eastern Michigan. And it has been our pleasure as a collaborative partnership with Michigan Women Forward, providing small business workshops, including Fifth Third's Empower You curriculum, to over 17,000 LMI individuals and small business owners throughout Southeast Michigan. After starting a microloan fund, Michigan Women Forward recognized there was a need for a continuum of services to support these entrepreneurs, as traditional funding typically does not provide the preparation and support needed when pursuing a dream of starting a business. The investment and services support that Michigan Women Forward small business and financial education programming for entrepreneurs, including pre-loan business plan writing, financial literacy through Empower You, and in fiscal management. Fifth Third Bank has been a supporter of these programs for approximately 10 years. Additionally, outcomes of the program include over 17,000 women that have sought Michigan Women Forward's help in pursuing a dream of starting a business. 79% of those entrepreneur clients are low to moderate income, and 61% of those women are of color. They've created over 400 jobs by Michigan Women client companies, and I actually have the pleasure of being able to sit on Michigan Women Forward's loan committee and being a part of helping the dream of many of these entrepreneurs come true. It is absolutely Fifth Third Bank's pleasure to congratulate Michigan Women Forward on all their success, and we look forward to our continued partnership in making the dreams of all the clients of Michigan Women Forward come true and be a reality. Congratulations.
Hello again, everyone. Some of you may remember or recognize me because I served on Michigan Women Forward's Board of Trustees for 5 years. In my years of serving on the board, I was excited about the direction I saw MWF headed in. The board was taking the time to think and strategize around data-driven, proven solutions to gender and racial injustice. As we were assessing how to move the women's agenda forward, we recognized that creating access to capital for women entrepreneurs was a key factor in creating gender equity. Economic power and financial stability give women the freedom to make empowered choices, provide for children if they choose to have them, and build generational wealth. Supporting women who want to start or grow their own business is a critical step to address racial wealth disparities and the gender pay gap. Last year, Carolyn asked me to join MWF on a full-time basis to grow our outreach to women, entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs of color across the state. I recognize this as an opportunity to grow and develop the microloan program and make a real impact on women. I am proud to report, since I joined the team, we have tripled the size of our Women's Entrepreneurial Initiative team, which provides microloans and opportunities for women who want to start or grow a business. We have also created some innovative programming to meet the critical, cultural, and geographic specific needs of entrepreneurs. Some examples of the programming we have recently started include a Bridging the Digital Divide training series for entrepreneurs with limited access to technology or tech expertise, a Credit Builders program for entrepreneurs with below average credit scores, one-on-one consulting for entrepreneurs facing challenges or seeking to grow and expand their business, and a neighborhood-specific technical assistance training program for businesses in the East Warren corridor. We have an ambitious goal to provide over 1,000 microloans in the next 5 years, primarily to women entrepreneurs of color. If we can scale, we can make a real difference in Michigan's economy and the individual lives of women seeking opportunities to grow wealth, provide for their families, and create their own legacies. You're going to see videos of several entrepreneurs during this program. Many of these businesses are the beneficiary of funding provided by General Motors to support entrepreneurs last year. While this partnership launched as a pilot in 2019 and 2020, last year really showed how critical emergency loan funding can be in keeping our cities thriving. That is why GM has recommitted an additional $150,000 infusion of cash that will help Michigan Women's Entrepreneurship Program to make sure small business owners like the congregation where I am standing right now have access to capital, not only to get by, but to thrive. After this short video about Sally Moore, the owner of Parker Avenue Knits, we will welcome Deborah Wall, who will share why this work is important and necessary right now. Let's meet Sally.
Parker Avenue Knits is the product of my longing to create an inclusive Detroit knitting community. The last knit shop in Detroit closed its doors over 10 years ago, leaving a huge void in both the city and the art culture it was attracting. I participated in the Michigan Women Forward Woman Up in Pitch competition in February of 2021, where I got to do what I love most, talk about my business. Before the competition, I worked directly with a coach to evaluate my business plan, refine my pitch, and set up my roadmap to success. It was empowering to be able to share my dream and have a community to surround and support me through the journey. The idea for Parker Avenue Knits really resonated with the audience and the judges, and I'm proud to say that I won the competition. Winning the pitch competition wasn't just about the money. It was a real vote of confidence and assured me that I am on the right path. Entrepreneurship can be a long, challenging journey. However, having the support of Michigan Women Forward and a diverse community of incredible women business owners reminded me that I'm not on this journey alone. Seeing women and Black women successfully running businesses changes the narrative for the future entrepreneurs with dreams like mine. Representation is important, and I am proud to be pushing boundaries so that future women will have opportunities to open their own businesses and create the communities they want to be a part of. We plan to open Parker Avenue Knits the summer of 2021. I hope you will take the time to visit, relax, and maybe find a passion for knitting right here in Detroit.
Good afternoon again. I am so proud to be here co-chairing this year's Woman Up and Celebrate event alongside Faye Nelson and Rania Cruz. It could not be a better thing to do, right? It's inspiring to be surrounded by women so committed to helping other women. Let's give a huge round of applause for that. So as Alexis just shared, GM has a long history of support for Michigan Women Forward. We believe in paving equitable opportunities for everybody to thrive, everybody in. That's why in 2019 and 2020, GM invested in the Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative and why we reinvested last month. So important. Supporting our small businesses is critical to keeping our cities and our communities alive and thriving. And now's for you. I'm going to ask you all to join us on this mission. GM has offered to match donations up to $15,000 today. So you know what that means. That means a $20 donation turns into a $40 donation, $100 turns into $200, and why not? $1,000 turns into $2,000. So look for that button on your screen that says donate, very clear, very purposeful, donate, and go ahead and click on that so that you can double your impact now. While you're doing that, let's watch one more video about Katrina Wilson, who's the owner of Creme Brulee. It's a multicultural salon in Midtown Detroit that I think really tells the story of why MWF's work is so important.
In the past 10 years, I started dreaming about opening a salon that had the capacity to service clients regardless of ethnicity, race, and gender. My vision was to create an environment that was warm and welcoming to all. Setting out to open my business felt like an uphill battle. I was having trouble accessing funding from any bank or other institution. I heard no 23 times. When I applied to Michigan Women's Forward for a loan, I heard my first yes. Carolyn and the entire Michigan Women's Forward team, they believed in me and they understood my passion. I attended their trainings, summits, and webinars where I developed my vision for Creme Brulee. What I loved most about the Michigan Women's Forward team is that they value and respect my resilience and tenacity. They were the reason I didn't give up. Last year, the COVID-19 pandemic made more than a financial impact on my business. It impacted me mentally, physically, and emotionally because I had so many people relying on me and support through Creme Brulee. I received a Resilience Fund grant from Michigan Women's Forward, which provided support for outstanding operating expenses. I am so very proud that I have been able to create employment opportunities for just under 20 employees from the Metro Detroit and surrounding areas. We are excited to open our new location here in Midtown Detroit the first week of June. I am so grateful to the Michigan Women's Forward team for supporting my dream. I hope that you will come visit me and my team here at Creme Brulee for the most luxurious experience here in Detroit.
Wow, it is so moving to hear stories like this. In fact, this afternoon has been so emotional overall. Michigan Women Forward helps business owners like Katrina chase their dreams, provide for their families, and create a legacy. It's so amazing. So I really encourage you to visit and support Katrina once she opens her salon in early June. Now, because I'm a marketer, I have late breaking news. I have an update on where we are towards our General Motors match goal of $15,000. We're at over $3,500 so far. So keep it going, everybody. This is so important. Any dollar amount counts. And I want to thank Donna Inch, Pamela Harkins, and Stephanie Naito for donating. You're one of many. Keep it going, everybody. It's so important. As I said, any donation dollar is important and it's helpful. And here's some examples of what your donations can do. So $75, that can provide technical assistance training for one entrepreneur, which can include advising on financial projections, goal setting, and procuring resources. How important is that? $100 provides 1 hour of business planning and coaching for the MWF pitch competition. I participated as a judge. It's an amazing opportunity. So to help someone learn how to do that, I think we're even up higher. So, 4,200. So keep it going. I know we can get there. let's go. I mean, let's really show what the women of this community can do, and anyone else who's on the line too. Don't want to, Okay, so together, when we pool our resources, we can make a huge impact for women and girls across the state. That's just a cause that's important for all of us in the future. All right, next up, back to Carolyn Casson. And first, we'll just take a quick look at what's happening with General Motors right now. Thank you.
You want to see something all electric? We're driving it everywhere. We are Generation E. Ultium! It's a battery that charges fast. It has more energy than me. We want smart, clean, and safe. And powerful. The electric future starts now.
This is so exciting. We are so close to our goal, which will have an enormous impact on women like Katrina, Sally, and Betsy. Do we have an update? Any other updates? All right, you just interrupt me at any time because over 5,000. All right, come on. We sound like cast of thousands here, but there's really only about 10 of us. So thank you all for cheering. Hanging on our wall at the MWF office in Detroit, we have a quote by Shirley Chisholm. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. The women who received awards today, Joanne Chavez, Dr. Betty Chu, and Byna Elliott, they often had to bring their own chairs when they weren't given a seat at the table, but they fought their way to the top anyway. Now that these women are leaders within their organizations, within our state, the nation, and the globe, Michigan Women Forward is working to create the next generation of young women who are going to take their places in the future. Our You Go Girls program, which stands for Unstoppable Generation of Girls, empowers the next generation of Michigan women so that the girls of today can become the next generation of Betty Chu's, Byna Elliott's, and Joanne Chavez. This past year, the You Go Girls program summer camps for middle and high school girls were held virtually, and they will be again this year. Girls in the program learn how to become entrepreneurs, they learn how to be financially literate, and they learn all about STEM careers because we know that these areas of concentration have been proven to lead to long-term economic empowerment. They lead to career opportunities, and they lead to wealth creation for women. Some of the girls in our You Go Girls program created a video featuring one of their favorite poems by Rupi Kaur. Let's watch it now.
I want to apologize to all the women I have called pretty before I've called them intelligent or brave.
I am sorry I made it sound as though something as simple as what you're born with is the most you have to be proud of, when your spirit has crushed mountains.
From now on, I will say things like, you are resilient.
Or, you are extraordinary.
Not because I don't think you're pretty.
But because you are so much more than that. Rupi Kaur. My name is Anadelia Gonzalez, and I am a senior at Detroit Christian High School. I was a participant in Michigan Women's Forward Virtual Visionaries program over the summer of 2020. And honestly, my favorite thing about it was just the communication throughout the entire program with every other participant and also the people who were leading it. It helped create an environment where everybody just feels completely comfortable, and we genuinely built friendships from it, and honestly made me feel even better with myself.
Hi, I'm Nija Rupert. I'm in the 10th grade. I was a part of Virtual Visionaries with Miss Megan. One of my favorite things about the whole experience was getting to know everyone. I feel like joining the whole group, it helped me open up more. It was my starter kit to opening up and just telling people more about myself, whether that be in general or personally. So yeah, it was just a great overall experience.
Thank you so much for joining us today at the Women Up and Celebrate Women of Achievement and Courage Award. I don't know about you, but I think this has been one of the most inspiring lunch hours I've ever had. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Betsy, for hosting us today at the congregation. It's really been fun. I've worked hard, but it's been a lot of fun.
Carolyn, thank you for visiting me today and for your help with all the coffee. It was so much fun hosting this event for Michigan Women's Forward. I am looking forward to seeing all of you watching here someday soon for a latte or a cocktail.
I know I'll be back. I have a shift that Betsy's already assigned me to. So I want to say thank you one more time to our fabulous co-chairs of the event, Deborah Wall, Faye Nelson, and Rania Cruz. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. A special thank you to Aaron Chevrolet and Comcast for putting together today's excellent videos. Were those fantastic? But here's the best part of those videos. All of them were done by companies who donated their time and expertise to put them together, and we are so very grateful. Now, how about doing this again next year? But let's do it in person next year. Let's be together because we need to see each other. In the meantime, please be kind to one another. Please continue to donate. Please continue to celebrate and lift each other up. Stay safe and healthy. And don't forget, bring a folding chair and someone with you to the table the next time. Together, we can do anything. Thank you for doing your part to move Michigan women forward.
All right, Carolyn, time to get back to work.
Okay.
Cheers.
Anything for the cause.